kidney. The outside of the kidney, of course, is the
Capsule.
This is your renal capsule. Going in from there, the outer layer of the kidney is the cortex. Before you get to that pyramid area. Then in from there is going to be the renal
Medulla.
Was I blocking you? I'm sorry.
When you press the renal medulla, it looks like it's the same thing as the renal pyramids. Like
The pyramids are in the medulla.
so, the pyramids are just inside.
They're the structure, yeah.
Okay.
So the triangular things you're seeing inside that are just the pyramids.
Okay.
So you're looking at the individual structures. And then the area found between them is going to be the renal columns. Again, this is part of the medulla, but they're different structures. Because remember, the medulla is a layer, so it contains both the pyramids and the columns. In from there, the tips of the pyramids, that's not very good, are going to be the papillae. You can see them projecting into the minor calyces. On this one, they're all white. And then the papillae are draining into a minor calyx. As long as the pyramid is a single pyramid draining, it'll be a minor calyx. So this is a minor, this is a minor, that's a minor, that's a minor. I feel like I should be singing hi-ho. Minor, minor, minor. That would be a minor one. When you have more than one pyramid draining into that area, that would be a major calyx. See how you have more than one bleeding? So that's major calyx. So as you move down, you have major, major, major. And then the major calyces are draining into the pyramid, or pelvis. Yeah, I do the same thing you guys do. This is the renal pelvis area. The other good one is nice and open is here. And the pelvis is going to drain into the ureter. And this one we got the nice long ureter. And then all the kidneys have a ureter attached. Next to the ureter, a lot of them have a renal artery, a vein. Artery, vein, renal arteries, renal veins. And those are attaching in the area of the kidney known as the hilum. This depressed area where they attach, that's known as the hilum. You have that on a lot of your organs. Your lung has a hilum too, where all the blood vessels, the bronchi come in. Inside the kidney, areas not involved in urine formation, usually filled with fat, are going to be the sinuses, the renal sinuses. So all that yellow area there. And this one, it's here, 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 here. Here.
Oh.
Here. Again, filled with the yellow. And then, should be all of that. Then we move on to the nephrons. And this, you can see how the corpuscles are up in the cortex area, and then the tubules like dip down into the pyramids, but we've got our up close views here and here. Sorry.
So that whole area is the corpuscles?
Okay, well, these are your nephrons. This whole thing
okay.
is a nephron.
Okay.
The first part of that is going to be the corpuscle, the little circles you see here, 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 and then are open here. This one opens up here, and then this is a giant one here.
Okay.
Inside of that, so if we look at the open version,
That's a giant corpuscle, right?
yes. So inside the corpuscle, this part is the glomerulus, and that is surrounded by the glomerular capsule. This would be a smaller version, glomerulus, glomerular capsule. Glomerulus, glomerular capsule. And then my funky colored one. It's like they were tie-dyeing that day. Glomerulus, and then the glomerular capsule surrounding it.
Okay.
From there, we then have the tubule. The first part is the proximal convoluted tubule. So on all of these, you see the proximal starting to come away. So proximal, proximal. If you look at the bigger versions and we follow the proximal convoluted tubule, you start with the corpuscle, and then you have the proximal convoluted tubule. It then becomes the descending limb, and then the ascending limb of your nephron loop. From there, it becomes a distal convoluted tubule, and if you keep following it, it'll lead to the collecting duct. Now, if you're doing these, make sure the easiest way is just know in order of the parts of the nephron. So you can always start with the corpuscle and just follow it through. Because if you start on a different one, like on this model, excuse me, depending on which one you start with, so we have the corpuscle, and we have the proximal convoluted tubule, the descending limb, the ascending limb, and then the distal convoluted tubule, and then the collecting duct. So they're actually starting on opposite sides. And then for the blood vessels leading into the corpuscle, you'll notice that coming off this larger vessel here, this coming down is going to be the afferent arteriole. Below that coming out is the efferent. And if you follow the efferent, it becomes your peritubular capillaries, which you see surrounding the loop of Henle there, and then the rest of the tubule. Did I leave anything out?
Can you say that?
So you see these larger vessels? Okay, so those are feeding off this one, into this one. If you follow this, this is the afferent, because it's going into the renal corpuscle, and then coming out is the efferent, EFF. And if you follow that, it becomes the peritubular capillaries. I don't know why that's hard today.
It's still red though, all the way
It's
down?
red. No, it turns blue.
Okay.
See how it starts? It's red this side and then becomes blue. This is still peritubular capillary surrounding.
Okay.
Technically, that's your vasa recta, but that's a whole other. We're not going there thing.
Okay.
Bladder and urethra on there.
Well,
I asked you if I forgot anything. Maybe I thought you knew where these were.
Well, I just want to be able
Never
to put it all
assume.
together.
Okay, so the ureters are going to lead down to, and this is a female version, we have our bladder, and that will lead to the urethra going to the outside. In the male model, it's a little easier because we don't have that uterus in the way. So this is the male bladder, and then the urethra leading down.
I can't see. Okay.
Bladder,
Mm-hmm.
urethra.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Show me on the female.
This is bladder.
Mm-hmm.
This is urethra.
Okay.
If you can count how many holes you have, and you realize this one's poo, you can
Megan.
usually figure. Figure out.
I bet you don't even do holes earlier. Because I wasn't thinking about it.
I didn't.